I'm Peter Vaughan, and when I was at school I dreamed of being a Formula One driver. Well, quite obviously that never happened, and the vehicles I drive today aren't quite as fast as in Formula One. But I do now have the opportunity to report on a campervan designed with input from a former F1 driver and named after him, because this is the Robeta Schumacher Edition. No, not Michael Schumacher, but his brother Ralph. Ralph Schumacher won 6 Grand Prix between 1997 and 2007, so not quite as successful as his brother, but the campervan he has input to is something very, very special. Described as the ultimate mobile suite, the Schumacher Edition was the most expensive campervan at the recent NEC show, and quite possibly the most expensive campervan you can buy in the UK. Based on a 5.5 tonne Mercedes Sprinter chassis, a Schumacher Edition like this one will set you back £279,359. We'll have a look in just a second at what you get for more than £250,000, or twice the most expensive VW camper we've ever tested, and, well, the price of a detached house in many areas of the UK. But first of all, I should tell you just a little bit about Robeta, because they are a premium brand of campervan from Slovenia, and they don't just build campervans as big and as expensive as this. They're new in the UK through Cara Motorhomes near Stafford. This campervan is of course based on the ultimate form of Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, but I had rather hoped that this 5.5 tonne van might have a screaming V10 engine under the bonnet, or perhaps a Ferrari V12. No, but you do get Merck's 190 horsepower engine with the automatic gearbox, of course. It's 7.36 metres long, so it's the biggest Sprinter and the tallest one, with habitation aircon on a roof to make it even taller. You get 360 watts of solar panel on the roof too, and 300 amp hours of lithium leisure batteries. This particular Schumacher Edition is the rear-wheel drive version with twin rear wheels, but you can also have yours in four-wheel drive form. Whichever you choose, of course, you get these nice alloy wheels. You'd expect that for nearly 280 grand, wouldn't you? That Omnistore awning is, of course, the electric one, and equally, the sliding door doesn't require any manual labour, and nor does the step that pops out automatically. You're greeted by this lovely wood trim and a reminder that you've bought a Schumacher Edition as soon as you open the door. But before we go inside, let's take a look around the back. Open the back doors and you discover a full height, garage, wardrobe, a versatile space that is certainly very generous. You've got 12 volt and 230 volt power points, hanging rail, cupboards. Well, use it as you see fit. But what you want to know is, what does an F1 driver's campervan look like inside? And I don't blame you if you fast forwarded to this bit. Well, it certainly doesn't look like your average campervan. Even a luxurious premium Mercedes Sprinter campervan doesn't normally look quite like this. There's a mirror effect black ceiling, which may look a little confusing when you see reflections of the cab seats up above. That's your drop down bed above, which we'll see in a few moments. It's certainly feels a bit special, doesn't it? It's more yacht, I think, than campervan. This lovely ribbed trim on the doors, the fantastic wood finish, both on the wall, around the windows, top cupboards and so on. You even get a humidor. Well, of course you would. £280,000 in round figures. What do you think? New image? Never in the field of campervan reviewing has so many features been featured in one van. Terrible impression, I know, but I had to do it. So you get this slide away table and it unfolds for dining. I'm told that the table has been improved on later versions, but I think this was the very first Schumacher Edition. It does say Schumacher Edition everywhere, so you don't forget what you've bought for your considerable investment. And this sofa, well, it is rather comfortable. Again, you'd expect that, wouldn't you? This Schumacher Edition is a 2-berth camper. Well, camper perhaps isn't the right word, but it isn't just for 2 people. It's for 2 people and their very pampered pooch. Well, as long as the pooch isn't too big, because his or her bed is underneath the end of the kitchen there. A nice touch. And, well, at the back of the van here, it is perhaps even more special than up front. Should notice this JL audio system for 1,000 watts of premium audio sound. And then the L-Tech lighting unit for all your LED lights, controlled by an app. And on here, Dialock, well, that's a fob operated system to centrally lock all the cupboards and drawers in the kitchen area. I think they've thought of most things in this van, and when you turn to the kitchen, well, we've seen Thetford's 2-ring induction hob before, and of course you've got an inverter. We've seen things like these Korean style worktops too, but the way it curves up into the side panel, the sink is integrated, it all does feel rather special. More unusual, especially in a van-based motorhome, is that you get a full-size dishwasher. Well, you'd expect not to have to wash up. You've got more mundane things too, like a pull-out area for your tins and packet foods. But over on this side, you've also got a cooler for your wine. The wine cooler is said to keep your finest wines at the perfect temperature of between 12 and 14 degrees. These worktops, well, they're in Kerrock, and neatly concealed over here is a little pop-out unit for your spices, if you should happen to do some cooking in here rather than go to the local Michelin-starred restaurant. Maybe you will do some cooking, because there's also a Dometic microwave hidden away in this top cupboard. In here you've got your TV and your coffee machine, and over on the other side, where you've got a 150 litre compressor fridge with a separate slide out bottle store. You have all the kit in the kitchen and an inverter so that you can use the appliances off-grid. Across the rear is the washroom. Well, washroom and changing room, because this black mirror effect door gives you access into that rear wardrobe cum garage space that you saw earlier on. On one side you have a full separate shower with nice sliding doors, and not only do you have the usual handheld shower, but you've got a rain shower above. You've also got speakers in the roof back here, as well as the extractor fan. So, well, you can have a little boogie in the shower while you hose yourself down. Over on the other side, you've got a ceramic macerator style toilet that has a 55 litre tank of its own. Fresh water is 140 litres and the grey tank is 100 litres. There's oodles of style in this round basin, looks like something out of a designer hotel room, and this big backlit round sort of porthole style mirror only emphasises the yacht look of this campervan. By now you're probably wondering about the bed. Well, perhaps that's the cleverest feature of all, because you simply press this button up here and it does the rest for you. Now it simply lowers on these cords, but the clever bit, and Robeta say the unique feature, is the fact that it is fully automatic. Not only does it come down, but it extends automatically with these supports going into brackets on the wall. And of course, the width of the bed would be too narrow if it didn't extend. But once it's down, you just flip over these side pieces and then pull out the steps for access. And now you have a really generous double bed, 1.91 metres long, 6'3" by 1.59 metres wide, 5'2.5". Got a big roof light above for daylight in the morning, or just a bit of Mediterranean ventilation when you're somewhere hot. The bed is on a fully slatted base. Well, it's as big as you expect in a much bigger motorhome. So that's just a taste of this Schumacher Edition, which comes with Truma's 6 kilowatt diesel heating. It gets all the Mercedes-Benz assistance systems. You've got a 360 degree parking camera. You can go up to 920 amp hours of lithium batteries for real off-grid living, and also you can option the Alco levelling system, which this van has. Well, you would expect all the toys at nearly 280 grand, wouldn't you? But if I was a retired Formula One driver, I think this is the sort of campervan I'd be looking for. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this rather special, rather unusual campervan review. Many more, slightly more affordable campervans coming in our reviews shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe.